down. It is DJ Ash Noble here. Welcome back to another stream. Today, I want to talk to you guys about a potential series idea for YouTube. Now, it's something that I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time. It's kind of been like a goal and a dream of mine. But the goal and the dream is a little bit more expensive than you think, and it's not something that I would just be able to do like that. So I had to sort of think like, how could I scale this idea down and it still sort of kind of do the idea, but in in a smaller project, in a smaller style, in a smaller budget. So one thing I've been watching a lot of recently, and one thing that I've really been sort of enjoying watching online, especially on YouTube, is people that renovate things. So people that buy like houses and they renovate them, or people that they'll buy like an old bus and they'll turn it into like a living space or a cafe or something like that. I'm currently watching some people on Facebook called the Professional Idiots, and they just turned a bus into a coffee shop, and then they have now taken on like a porter cabin styled container, and they're going to turn it into kind of like a little bit of a living space. So I'm really into things like that. Now, obviously, why it's massive and way out of my budget is I can't just decide tomorrow that I'm going to go and buy a bus. I haven't got the money to buy a bus. I can't just, I haven't even got a license to drive a bus, let alone own one. And like I say, money, and then where would you even store a bus? And the same with a house, I haven't just got money to go out there and to basically to buy a house and renovate it. And if I had enough money to buy a house, I would be moving into the house. Hence why I live in a supported living place. So this begs me on to my next sort of thing of why I've been thinking and wanting to scale down the idea of doing a renovation to more, I guess, decorating. And I know it makes it sound a little bit cheap, like, but what my potential idea is where I live right now. We've got this big front room, and currently at the moment, it's my music room, stroke my living room. It's more, it's the place where I make all my music. It's the place where I DJ, and it's a nice room. It's a nice spacious room. However, it doesn't really look like a studio. The room at the moment is actually looks a little bit like a bomb's hit it, and I do need to have a little bit of a tidy up actually. But there's a couple of other reasons that have made me sort of want to do this, and one of the reasons is some of the furniture that I've got in here is looking a little bit shabby. It's looking like it's seen better days. For example, this computer desk that my phone is currently sat on, I found this outside somebody's house. They just dumped it for anybody to pick up, and I picked up this computer desk, and it was good at the time. It was something, when I lived at my mum's to put my computer on. Now it just looks a little bit shabby. It doesn't really look what I would really call presentable, and it doesn't look that good. And then the second reason is this little cabinet here is starting to horribly break. It's starting to warp. It's currently at the moment, it's kind of, instead of being like that, it's gone kind of like that, and the wood is starting to chip. As you can see, the wood is starting to crack, and it's starting to come apart, and it isn't going to be long before this probably starts to just give way, and it's starting to chip is the whiteness. So I would like to do a little bit of a little spruce up and buy some new things. and do a little bit of a YouTube series where I would potentially create my own little studio, and we would make a little series out of building this studio. Now, one thing that is a big kind of thing that could affect whether we do this or not is the fact of it decorating itself. So I live in a supported living place. These flats are designed for people who need somewhere to stay, who need support. Now, I'm not entirely certain what the score is on, like whether I'm allowed to paint or not, because if I'm gonna turn this into a studio, I just don't feel these blue walls really do it for me. I'd like to go with something like a grey and a red. So we've got, as you can see behind me, there's like the blue and then there's like the little white lip. So what I'd like to do is do the walls grey and maybe do like the little lip red, and then do like the window ledges red, or something like that. Or it might not be that, but something along them lines. But like I say, I'm just not entirely sure whether I am allowed to paint the walls. Painting the walls would be an absolutely amazing thing if I was allowed to do it. However, I am not certain whether, like, if I like, because I could be allowed to paint the walls, but then I would have to paint them back to the original colour and before I moved out, and that would be something. Or I might just not be allowed to paint the walls at all. So that is something that I'm going to inquire during the week, whether I am allowed to paint walls or not. I seem to remember I had a friend who lived in one of these riverside schemes where I live, about sort of 3 or 4 years ago, and I seem to remember that he wasn't allowed to decorate, and they were really funny even about him, like putting nails into the wall and stuff, and we put a green screen up, and I seem to remember that we had to use tape because they didn't want people like putting holes into the walls with nails and screws and things like that. And you had to more or less keep the walls kind of like as kind of how it was, and it was a furnished flat, and then sort of as the time went on, he kind of had to um, replace his own furniture, but he couldn't physically like change the walls, because then whoever lived thereafter, it was that same sort of thing for them. So I'll have to inquire on whether I can paint the walls or not. If we can't paint the walls, like, it wouldn't necessarily affect the series. It would be maybe still something we could do, but the only thing we would really only be doing in the series would be putting a few worktops together, and just unboxing some new stuff, and that would probably really be it. Whereas it would be quite cool to kind of do like a whole process of like painting, and I want to put some rugs down and stuff, and I want to really make it into the studio room. I want to have a really nice computer desk and really monitor everything, and make everything look nice, and do it sort of over time. It won't be something that'll happen overnight, like, because obviously money, I've got to buy cabinets and worktops and rugs and things. But we'll inquire. I mean, we'll be able to do things like put rugs down, and obviously we can bring new worktops in. I just, like I say, I'm not fully certain whether I would be allowed to paint or not, and if I aren't, then we'll take the next step from there. We might have to unfortunately keep the blue walls, but we'll just have to see. If we do, then unfortunately we do. I'll just do things like putting lots of things on the walls and stuff, and we'll still be able to put some soundproofing up and stuff. which will be good. Stick some on the wall, and we'll have a real sort of look at the layout, as to where are we going to put the computer, where's the computer going to go, that kind of thing. And we'll really see how we go about doing this, and maybe do a little series out of it. So like I say, I've really enjoyed watching people renovate things, as of recently. A guy called Pete and his bus was turning a bus into like a bar. And he already currently had a bus that he had converted into a bar, and then basically he was doing it for extra income, basically. And he started this channel, and started documenting the process of him, kind of like renovating this bus. But then what happened is his YouTube channel blew up, and he became this he became like really sort of well known in the bus community, where he'd get paid for his YouTube, and then he'd get paid for doing all these different things. And it come to the point where he got that busy, that he didn't have the time or the need to start renovating a second bus, into another bar. So the videos changed a lot, but I still kind of followed the channel because I like his channel, I like what he does. But now he's going to re-continue the renovation, and he's going to turn the bus into like a home studio, a place where he can do all his editing his YouTube videos and stuff. So that'll be really, really cool, and it'll be like the Pete and his bus HQ. But then, like I say, I've just started watching one about a 25-year-old couple, that have just bought a house, and they're renovating it. And it's quite a bad house, and they're building an extension and everything. So, and they've got like a 60k budget or something, to renovate this. Whereas for me, we'll be going as cheap as possible. Really, just a couple of worktops, some soundproofing, some rugs, a bit of paint. Again, I don't entirely know what the score is there. Like, if we can do things like change the light fittings, it would be really nice to have like some cool light fittings. It'd be cool, like to really do a little spruce up. We'll put some LED lights around some of the places and stuff like that, and we'll try and make it more. Like, I want essentially what I'd like is, I would like to have one half of the room to kind of be the studio part of the room, so the decks, the computer, and then I want the other half of the room to be kind of like the chill out area, and that to be meaning kind of like the living room as well, because it is still a flat, so I need to sit down and watch telly, and stuff like that. I would like to put the telly back on the wall. That is something I'd like to do. It would just free up another. It would just free up another worktop for me, essentially, which would be a really cool thing. If I could do that, free up another worktop, and stuff like that, and maybe utilize something else, for instead of having the telly on it, maybe, I don't know, maybe like a little table to eat at or something. I don't know. We've got a fairly big room here. We could definitely do something, and when it will happen will probably be after Christmas. I've started to put the feelers out for things like worktops, and where can I buy worktops from, really, that look nice, but they're not the most expensive. I don't want like somebody's £600 custom DJ booth, but I want something nice to put the decks on, and I think I've found something that somebody custom built themselves, a friend of mine, and he's happy to sell it to me dirt cheap. So I think what's going to happen is I'm going to potentially get that, and then basically, that will be like the DJ booth kind of thing. And then what I'll do is, because I'll probably get that soon, that will probably come soon. So what I'll probably do is, we will probably, I'll probably just keep it stored for a little while before I use it and build it up, and then we can obviously do it on the series if I decide to do the YouTube series. So basically, we shall. I mean, we'll definitely do something. Not being able to paint the walls, if that is the issue. Obviously that isn't gonna, it's not gonna stop us from doing the series, but it would be most definitely a little bit of a blow, because it would be nice to, it would be really nice to to like have a nice sort of stylish colour in here than this kind of like typical white and blue, which I think is in I think it's in every flat. So I would imagine that it would be something that you might not be allowed to do, or like I say, we might be allowed to do it, but then we might have to paint it back before we leave. And then if because obviously this place, it's not forever. I hope it's for a long time, but it's not forever. And basically, cut a long story short, I wouldn't want the hassle of having to paint it back. Let's be honest. As much as I'd look forward to painting it to the nice colour we'd have it, and trying to find the right blue, trying to find the white, repainting everything, like when it's not really for me. I just don't really think I would find it that enjoyable, and I don't, in all honesty, I don't love painting, but I don't hate it. So I'm quite looking forward to potentially doing it, for like part of the series. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. And the ceiling's got some like discoloured thing on it. It almost there's something like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like some damp or something that's come through from like the upper flat. But we've got something on the wall. On the roof. I don't know if you can see it. You'll see it if I flip the camera, but you see it just there, and it looks a little bit weird. And then also there is somewhere, I can't remember where it is, but there's a hole somewhere in the roof. There's a little hole. I can't fully remember where it is. I know I see it. Yeah, it's just near the light. So I don't know how well the camera will pick it up, but you can kind of see it. If I zoom in, you can see it just there. There's a little tiny hole, so I'd like to get that filled and stuff like that, and then we would be able to renovate. So if anybody has anything that they would like to suggest for the renovation, because the renovation will happen, that will probably be a definite. I'll do an announcement when I'm going to start it, but we'll probably do it towards the beginning of the new year. So then we've kind of got 2025 in this studio space. And what I'm also thinking of doing, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't hate it, but I'm a little bit unsure what to do with this, and I kind of feel like it stores things like I store things on it at the moment. I store things in the drawer. I don't love it. Like, I like it, but I don't love it. And I wanted to put my vinyls on it originally, but it was quite hard because like there was like them shelves. They're not big enough to fit vinyl records. Essentially, I think you can adjust the heights of each shelf. I think. Don't quote me on it, but I think you can. I think you can move the shelves higher or lower. I would like to put vinyl in it. It would be quite a cool thing to put vinyl in it, and stuff like that, because we didn't sell all the vinyl, and that's another thing I want to talk about as well. I recently sold my turntables and I sold a lot of vinyl, and at the time it was needed, funded a motorbike. But do you know what? Like, I kind of regret it. I just, I think more than anything, it wasn't as such the records that I sold, like, because I sold, like records, you can easily buy some records again, but the turntables, it was just that, like if you want to have a vinyl jam, you can't, like I kind of feel like I'd love to sort of bring that back, to have a vinyl jam. So I am going to look at some point into getting some turntables again. I'm not looking for the best out there, don't go saying I'll get the Technics, because I haven't got the money to buy Technics. I'm happy spending, 100, 100 quid plus, getting some second hand stuff. If I can spend between 100 and 200 on a couple of vinyl decks that'll just do the trick at home. They don't have to be absolutely amazing, as long as they play the records and I can physically have a mix on them, then I'll be happy. And then I might, buy a couple more records again. I mean, I've still got loads of house. I'll probably use it a lot for that. So we'll see. We'll kind of see what happens. We'll see kind of what goes down. But we'll do that. It might not be a part of the renovation series. I'll probably just get some turntables at some point in the future. But we'll see what goes down in Chinatown, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But going back to that worktop, or that little cupboard thing, shelving unit, whatever you want to call it, it would be good to put some vinyls in it. But I don't know, like I say, if I can adjust the shelves, and if we can't use that, then I don't really know what, in all honesty, we would use, if that makes sense. So we'll have to see. I'm not really sure, but we'll use something, most definitely. We'll do something, most definitely. And we'll just have to kind of go at that, and kind of see, sort of roughly how we go. So I will update you going forward, with my plans, what I plan to do with the series. I'll let you know, obviously, if we can paint the walls, and stuff like that. The carpet is actually a really nice carpet, so I wouldn't change the carpet. I like the grey colour. I think it would fit the vibe of a studio quite well. So I would keep the carpets, for definite. The carpets is definitely something that I would keep. I like the carpet. I would just probably paint the walls. That's the only thing I'd really want to do if I was allowed. And maybe change the blinds. It would maybe be nice to get some like black blinds instead. But we'll have to see. Time stands still for no man. I will get sort of the ball rolling. I'll get inquiring, and I'll just ask my social workers, look, what's the score on us, like painting the walls, for example, and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll see. But we'll definitely, if we can't paint the walls, we'll put soundproofing up. We'll put some. I think what I'm gonna do, because I've got, over there, I've got like all these posters on the wall, and I think what would be really nice. I've got some good posters, from some good events, some really good events, where there's some really nice. I've been fortunate that they've given me a good sort of big, printed out poster. So I think what I'm gonna do is get them framed, because I've got my Crazy Chaos ones framed, and they're really nice. So I think it would be really, really cool, if we could get a couple of other ones framed where it's been a really good event. So for example, like, the experience, the ultimate bounce, the bounce to your drop, with the Friday Night Posse, or the one with the club filler, the Bonanza one. UFO looks quite good. Something I could definitely, something I could definitely get, photo framed and stuff like that. Thumping events, Ryan Garner. That was a good event we did this year, so we could get that sort of photo framed. Or maybe we photo frame the best sets that I played this year. And what events they were at. Like we've got the Crazy Chaos ones already photo framed, so we'd have to do like Rave Kids, and then the we'd have to do the Bring the Sauce. We'd have to do that one because they were where we played like really good sets. So anyway, that is going to do it for now. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to share. Oh, before I do go, we'll also do some little cool things with the series as well. So one thing I was thinking is getting like a clock that is maybe like a vinyl record and stuff like that. So we'll do little cool tricks like that. And we'll maybe see like if we can change the light switch plates and stuff. And we'll have a little, I'll inquire what the score will be, and then we'll go further. But we'll do little tricks, we'll little clocks, maybe like a little neon sign that says studio, maybe something we can put on the door or something. And we'll try and like really, really pimp this place out. So make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to share, and we shall see you soon.